So does this sound like an HR team you might have worked in? The HR business partners think that the centres of expertise are creating loads of initiatives that are irrelevant for their part of the business. The centres of expertise think that the HRBPs have gone rogue and are too wedded to their clients and aren't thinking about the bigger picture. The talent acquisition team isn't speaking to the talent management team. The L&D team don't even want to be in the HR team. And the poor centralised support team are neglected and ignored. Now, I know I've definitely worked in teams like that. Maybe it sounds familiar to you too. A lot of the HR directors that I speak to are really keen to get rid of the silos that seem to exist in their teams. You know, rightly, they feel that these internal divisions can be barriers to providing the best possible service to their clients and can damage the team's internal credibility. So what are the structural choices you can make to help build one HR team and get rid of silos? I'm going to cover off 3 HR team trends that are really having an impact. Number 1, reduce the number of COE teams. So the first trend that we're seeing is that centres of expertise are being streamlined to avoid having numerous mini fiefdoms and to simplify communication and reduce complexity. Here's a couple of examples. So companies like Global Logic are breaking down these walls by integrating talent acquisition and learning and development. So this means that they're not just hiring people, they're also helping them to grow and adapt. Cisco took a similar approach by forming cross-functional HR teams like hiring and training working together. They use data and agile practices to predict future skill needs and then develop talent from within. At T-Mobile, they've combined their hiring and talent management teams under the name Talent Scouts. So the recruitment team work as much on finding internal talent as external. And at ING, the centres of expertise are divided into just 2 clusters, talent and learning and performance and reward. The second structural trend to reduce silos is to change the focus for HRBPs. You know, instead of having HRBPs aligned solely with one part of the business, we're seeing a trend for squads of HRBPs who work across different business units. For example, ING again has divided its HRBPs into 2 groups. One group consists of a dozen HRBPs with dedicated accounts, working closely with senior management and leaders to drive the people agenda, and the remaining HRBPs form flexible impact teams that focus on execution. Now, these teams mean that they can allocate resources dynamically to where they will have the most impact. Another technique to encourage collaboration between HRBPs and the centre of expertise is to regularly rotate individuals between the 2 types of role. GE have this built into their HR leadership program, and it was something that worked really well for me as an HR director. You know, it really encouraged team members to appreciate the challenges of the other side and reduce that sense of us and them, as well as building greater breadth of skills. When you've been an HRBP, you can bring a greater pragmatism and flexibility to your centre of expertise role. And when you've been in a centre of expertise team, you can bring the bigger picture to your individual business unit. But one of the most exciting structural trends that we're seeing is structuring the HR team not around individual disciplines, but around the employee journey. HR teams are being remodeled around key moments in the employee life cycle, and they're being given end-to-end responsibility for the employee experience within that part of the journey. You know, spanning what would have been several individual HR functions. So for example, at ING again, they're organised into circles dedicated to different phases of the employee journey. Join, develop, reward, and recognise and move on. The primary objective is to create customised and differentiated employee experience that help ING stand out from the competitors. And at NatWest, 60% of the HR team's roles are dedicated to a number of people journeys for which they have end-to-end responsibility. including both the day-to-day operational service delivery and change execution and performance. Working end-to-end rather than in silos enables these people journeys to incorporate multidisciplined teams and expertise, bringing together the right people to deliver. You know, of course, structural changes will only take you so far. Silos only really disappear when the leadership and culture reinforces the one HR team ethos. But these mergers of COEs, the refocusing of HRBPs and the remodelling around the people experience are a great way to start removing structural barriers to collaboration. Thanks for watching. To get more videos like this, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications.